Hey darlings, today I want to talk about a couple things. So first is that sometimes emotions can be delayed for bigger life events. And two, yay polyamory and more fears and thoughts that do not serve us. Let's talk about it. So the delayed emotion thing, my ex-partner and I broke up a couple weeks ago or so, and I didn't cry about it until today. So when we first broke up, I felt some relief and I did feel some sadness. It did feel kind of heavy, but it wasn't this really giant sorrow or anything. But then a few things happened, and today I just did feel some of that sorrow. And so last night we had some people over. We have a group of like-minded individuals that meet about once a week, and it's getting colder out. We would normally meet outside. We're trying to figure out indoor places, and I was like, well, they can stay at the house because I'm going to be selling it soon, and so I don't really care if people know where I live because sometimes there's new people. And then I didn't really think about how my ex-partner had moved out and I was going to be living alone. So last night, for whatever reason, that really got in my head, and I was thinking, I feel weird sleeping by myself when strangers know where I live and that I live on my own. And so I mentioned that to my ex-partner who was over fixing some stuff up, and he said, hey, I'll just crash on the couch if you want. I was like, thank you, I really appreciate that. And so I went to bed and I'm laying there and I felt really lonely because I have never lived alone my entire life until now, and it was just really, really hard. And I have a partner, but I maybe spend the night or he comes here. It's like twice a week or so that I get to have like his cuddles and everything. And so I think, there's such a thing as like oxytocin drop. Where you can have that high when you're all cuddly and stuff, and then when you don't have that, you can crash. And my body is used to cuddling like every single day, and so to have that less, I think it's definitely getting more of the up and down. So I think I was crashing like super hard last night for whatever reason too, and I really wanted to ask my ex to come snuggle me, but things have been really weird between us, and that would just send the wrong signal. Because originally when we first broke up, we still did cuddle some. I know it sounds super weird, but we were still on fairly good terms. But since then, things have been really up and down, and he doesn't seem to think so, but I do. And he's just had some weird behavior things that have been concerning and kind of problematic. And so I was thinking, really not a great idea, but I was just yearning so badly for cuddles. And so today I was thinking more about it, and it was more on my mind because I'd seen this TikTok of a guy proposing to another guy, and just the reaction of the guy being proposed to was so heartwarming, but also made me realize just how much I still want that. And I don't want to necessarily call it like a monogamy myth or something, because I do believe that a person can find a person that they're super compatible with, and they can spend the rest of their freaking lives together and being each other's person and like each other's priority and each other's homes. And I don't think that's necessarily healthy. I think I just talked about that, to not make your home in someone else. But there's still part of me that's like, oh, that's romantic and I want that. And yeah, just seeing that, it made me freaking yearn for that. And I started crying because I was like, I had a person, and it wasn't the healthiest. We weren't the best for each other, but I was like, oh, I miss having my person. And I just, driving in my car, just crying a lot. And I haven't cried for a while. And I was trying to figure that out and trying to unpack that, because I was thinking, why is that a thing you really, really, really want? And I realized that it feels more certain. Because right now I'm in a polyamorous relationship, kind of. So I'm with someone who is married and has kids, and then, that person has people, and on and on and on. And yeah, it feels a lot less certain because there's more people involved. And so there's the idea of, well, what if his wife is just suddenly like, nope, let's just be us? And I very much doubt that would happen. Like, she's so incredibly, like, unfathomably good at sharing and tending to emotions. Like, I don't think she's human. Like, I'm very in awe of her emotional abilities. But like, that things like that have happened. Or what if a new person comes in that is like so amazing, and my partner's just like, this person's great, and compared to them, like, you're not. So like, just get out of here. Or just having a lot less time with him when time already feels like, it's a little bit compared to what I'm used to. And so, like I said, there's all this uncertainty in polyamory. And so my life feels really uncertain as it is right now, because we're trying to figure out fixing up the house, and it's taking so much longer than we thought it would to sell. And then there's that fear of, oh, what if the market turns, and what if we don't make the money we want to make off of it? And then what if I'm like in all this debt because I bought a camper and stuff, and like, I wanted to pay off my car with the money I got from selling the house, and what if I can't, just all these different thoughts. And then because of the breakup, and then it just, it's a lot of uncertainty. So the idea of being in a relationship style type thing that inherently maybe has more uncertainty is hard. And not to say that monogamous relationships don't have any, like, they do. I mean, things can always happen, but for whatever reason, mentally, it feels more secure and more stable. And so then I'm realizing that a lot of these feelings are just fear-based. And I feel like so much of it comes from how I was brought up, because my father left right after I was born, and I think just devastated my mother. Like, I've never seen her date. And so for literally decades, she hasn't put herself out there for fear of something like that happening again. So I think there is just this fear of people might hurt me. They might leave. Even if things feel like we have a really big connection, or whatever, like, that could get shattered at any moment. And logically, like, I realize that that's not true. I've had several really fairly long-term relationships. So it's not like people just suddenly like, boop, that it's kind of a more of a rational fear. And so I know that's something I need to release. And then it's also hard for me to get close to people and to open up. Like, I feel like it took my partner, like, a lot of patience and just, like, being super, super, super consistent to get me to open up and to feel comfortable being like, okay, like, okay. I've talked about this before. I don't know why I keep repeating it. And so I think that's the harder thing about polyamory, is because you can let in more people, and letting in people is scary. But I keep thinking about that, where I'm like, okay, why am I mourning the idea of not having my one person when I have the chance to have multiple people? And yeah, it's that fear of, well, more chances to get hurt, and more work to let people in, and more work to be okay with sharing. Because I have a little bit of a primal streak sometimes that I'm very careful to, like, contain and only let out during very certain choice moments. But that primal side of me is like a possessive dick bag. It's not very nice. and it kind of wants to, like, if it was acceptable, like, pee a circle around the people that it deems as theirs and just be like, fucking back off. If anyone were to come near them, like, it's not good, and I'm glad that I have a hold on it. But yeah, I have to be like, yo, Primal Kira, sharing is caring. It's just like, no, it's not. It's like, it is. Calm your teats. You're okay. You're okay. Sharing is caring. But yeah, it's contending with that part when it comes to sharing people, and contending with the fear of comparison and the fear of losing time and things like that with people. So there's a lot to unpack with all of this. But I realized that if I can get over some of these hurdles, like, I will be so much of a healthier person if I can let go of a lot of these fears, and I want to. And the idea of, like, a big happy poly family is really enticing and interesting. And so I know I have some work to do. I feel like I always have work to do. I think we always, like, all of us always have work to do. That's part of being alive and having a growth mindset. So yeah, I have homework. Lots of homework. But yeah, I will keep you posted, and this will be interesting. Okay, bye.